Hey guys, welcome to my video. I'm gonna show you how I make my burrito bowl. This one is a little extra because I just felt like being extra today. But usually I just make sure I add like rice, maybe some beans, and then a protein and guac and salsa. That's my base, and some mushrooms. I'm also gonna show you how I made these burritos too. So for our burrito bowl slash burritos, these are the toppings that I'm gonna add in, or like the fillings, I guess you could say. So obviously rice, and make sure you're using a measuring scoop if you're tracking, if you're on your fitness journey. Also, you could use beans or refried beans. For fats, we have guacamole, and this is a homemade cashew sauce. The texture didn't come out quite right, but I might use a little dollop of that on top. And then I made this tomato salsa and corn salsa. The tomato salsa has like chopped tomatoes, onion, cilantro. You could add salt and vinegar, and also like minced jalapeno. And the corn has the same thing except for no tomato, and it has frozen corn and red pepper. And I'm gonna like cook this a little bit so that the frozen corn isn't so frozen. And then, yeah, if you're doing a burrito, you're gonna need some tortillas. These are from Costco. They are uncooked, so I'm gonna have to like cook them first and then roll the burrito. And I'm not that good at rolling burritos, but I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna do it on that pan. But first, I'm gonna show you also how I'll cook the protein. Also for toppings, you might wanna add some hot sauce. My favorite hot sauce is Frank's. So I'll be using these Light Life plant-based crumbles. You could also use TVP, which is a more cheaper option, but this one is like very high protein. This whole container has 66 grams of protein and only so 11 grams of protein per serving and 1.5 grams of fat, which is really like a lean protein. And then I'm also gonna cook that with some olive oil. I have like a tablespoon here, half a tablespoon, so I might use like a tablespoon of oil. And I'm gonna cook this whole thing with tomato sauce. I'm also gonna add in mushrooms. And then for the seasonings, I'm gonna use salt, garlic if I can find it, and then chili powder, chipotle powder, and cayenne pepper. And yeah, I'll be cooking that in this pan. Also, whenever you're cooking, you wanna have a snack if you're hungry, just so that you're not like stressing while you're cooking, because that never feels good. And then also have some water. Okay, so firstly I'm gonna add my oil. I'm gonna add like half a tablespoon for now. And then I'm gonna cook the mushrooms first. And then I'll separate them from the meat because it would look weird to have the meat with mushrooms in it. So I just put a half a tablespoon of olive oil. And then I'm gonna add in my maitake mushrooms. So it's on medium heat, and I'm just stirring so it doesn't burn. And then a big tip I do is I add water instead of oil, so that I don't add extra calories if I don't want them. And I'll just cook these until it's like brown. And if you want, you could add soy sauce for more flavor. So I actually lowered the heat to more low since this is a gas powered stove and it gets hot quick. But it's like pretty cooked, so I'm gonna move on to the meat now. There's the finished mushrooms, and then I'm just gonna add another half a tablespoon of oil to the pan for the meat. And then I'll add in the meat, and then the spices and tomato sauce. So this is the meat. I'm just gonna add it in. Add in water too if you think it's sticking too much. So I haven't tried this meat before, but it looks a lot like ground beef more than TVP, and it's also like already brown, so the color is better than TVP, so I'm glad I'm trying this one. So I added in about half of a can of tomato sauce, and then I added in my spices. I also added in cumin too, and I just kind of eyeballed it. So I'm gonna taste it and see if it needs anything. This looks really good. It could have some more salt, but I think the hot sauce is gonna be salty enough, so it's really good. Now I'm gonna cook these uncooked tortillas, and then I'm gonna put that aside, and then I'm gonna cook the refried beans so that's warm. Or you could like microwave it if you want, or just skip this step if you're not doing the burritos, if you're just doing a rice bowl. Okay, so for these beans, I added some water to the pan so it doesn't stick. And then I kind of just smushed it down so that it gets warm. The heat is off right now, but the pan is still really hot, so. Okay, now everything is prepped and ready and it's time to assemble. I'm gonna show you up close. And then some corn salsa. Hopefully it's not too spicy because these jalapenos are raw, but I took out the seeds. Then I'm gonna add some mushrooms. Forgot to add that. Spread it out. Now I'm gonna add a pack of this guac. It just plopped out of the container. And if you want, you could add some cashew too. I'm gonna add like a little scoop. And I'm gonna add a little hot sauce. So this is my finished bowl. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so for the burrito, you wanna push in the sides. I added all the toppings, obviously. You wanna make sure it's not too packed that you can't wrap it. Pack in the sides, and then you're gonna, fold it like this. Then you're gonna fold this over and then roll it. I can't do it with me filming, but. A tip for burritos is you wanna add like the fat source at the bottom so that the wetness doesn't get the tortilla soggy, and try not to add too many wet things in it. Here's the finished product of the burritos. This is really good. It's not even warm anymore, but it's still good. So I just calculated the macros from this recipe, and in total it's around, well, the serving size that I got was around 600 calories, like 580 calories, and then like 38 grams of protein and like 17 or 18 grams of fat. I don't know how many grams of carbs, but really good meal, really filling and so satisfying. I'm gonna check how much fiber too. Also, the burrito bowl was like 60% the daily value of fiber, so it's really filling and really healthy. Compare this to the actual ground cow that people are eating, the ground beef. This is like so much better. It's just as much protein, more fiber, and it's just as tasty. And obviously no one had to die and suffer for it. So if you're not vegan yet, this is your sign to try a plant-based meal and eat more plant-based, and also see the animals for who they are as individuals, and not exploit them. Thank you so much, and it'll really help you as a person too to go vegan. I also want to say this is pretty spicy. I added in the whole recipe, I used around like half of a jalapeno. So if you don't like spice, add less or don't add it at all. But for me, it's like perfect. And it's also not a group 2A carcinogen. This meal is also so meal prep friendly. So you can make a big batch of this and then have it like 5 or 6 times this week. Like, that's how good it is. So meal prep friendly. I also just realized that I used 2 of these half a cup measurements of the meat. So I actually had 4 servings of the plant-based meat, which is actually brings the meal to around 42 grams of protein. So I'm really full and I feel good. Not like super bloated, like as you can see, like when you eat a high protein meal, like it was 600 calories, but I'm not really bloated. So very high protein. And I'm so glad I tried this plant-based ground. It's called the Light Life Smart Ground. So it's kind of like lean beef because it's like high protein, low fat. And I'm so glad I tried it. They also have a Mexican style. So like if you want it pre-seasoned Mexican style, definitely gonna get it again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a meal like this for yourself. And enjoy the rest of your video. I was gonna say enjoy the rest of your day. I was gonna say also, please like this video and subscribe for more recipe videos, and let me know if you make this or if you would eat it.